Welcome to the Diminutive Soldier. Today we're going to check out Meeple War by Blue Cocker and CMON Games. Meeple War is a fun 4X style game, going out, attacking your opponents, building up your city. You got resource management to control of how you want to use your workers, what you want them to build, what your priorities are, and where to send your troops out. And it's just a pretty fun game. Let's go down to the table and check it out and see what you think. All right, this is Meeple Wars. I have the game set up here for a 2-player game. You can play up to 4 players, and the setup would be different. For instance, here's the 2-player setup, which you have in front of you. You got your 3-player setup with each player's locations here, and a 4-player setup with each player's location in the center areas. So each player has their home bases. There's one there. And they start out with this first building. Now what this is up here is how many damage points this building can take before it's destroyed. This down here is your worker placement. Every turn you're going to have a little worker on your buildings, and every turn you must move your worker to one of the choices. For instance, this building, you'll be able to move the worker here to build a new building. Put it down in your home base. This one, you'll be able to create 2 new Meeple soldiers. And this one here, you can deploy up to 3 Meeple soldiers right outside your base. So that's what this starter base does. The point of the game is to collect 6 victory points. And I'm going to put their little workers there. And each player has this victory track, this pyramid, to collect 6 victory points. Every time you get a victory point, you place a Meeple on it. Whoever gets the 6 wins. How you get the 6 is 1, winning battles. Whenever you defeat enemies in battles, you'll have a little Meeple on this. You'll move up the track. When you get the 7, you get a victory point. Another one is locations such as this. If you hold this location, and how you hold it, you have 2 Meeples there, then you have that many victory points. This one has 2 victory points. So as you hold it, you'll always have 2 victory points, whoever holds that. And another one is by destroying enemy buildings. When you destroy their buildings, however much damage it took, for instance, these starter buildings is 6. If you destroy it, you get 6 victory points. So if you destroy that building, you win outright. But that's a little easier said than done. So on the game turn, first you see if you have any territory bonuses. Now, much like this one with the flags, if you have 2 Meeples there, you get those 2 victory points. There's some territories you'll find they'll have different bonuses. This one, if you have 2 Meeples here, then as the defender player, if you're being attacked, you could destroy 1 opponent's Meeple before each battle, as long as you contain that. There's this one, if you have 2 Meeples there, in the beginning of your turn, you could build another Meeple and create another one. So some of them have different bonuses. Some are, such as this one, are tunnels. You can move from tunnel to tunnel. There's another. Some have, such as this one, all your Meeples can move through forest this turn if you have 2 Meeples there. And what I mean by that, move through forest, let's say you have 2 locations set like this. You cannot move through the trees, or even like this. This side's clear, but this has a forest. From here, I cannot move through there. However, if I had 2 Meeples in this treehouse location, I can do that. These are open from here to here. This location, this altar, if you move in there, you must sacrifice one of your Meeples. And when you do, an enemy Meeple up to 2 spaces away, you can kill. So that's what those do. You have to sacrifice one. You sacrifice one to kill one, basically. So let's just start the game and show you how it works. I always think the best way to learn a game is to play said game. So let's start out with the blue player. Each player comes with 2 of their Meeples already in their depot. Here's 2 of them right here. And it's a depot because in this game, the Meeples aren't people. They're these giant robotic wooden machines that you have to build. Let me show you the cover of the board of the game. See, there you go. Giant machines that you're sending out to attack. This is the first player token, this big hammer. So let's say blue's first player. Boom. So he's going to see if he has any territory bonuses, which he doesn't yet. And he's going to do his worker movement. So he can choose, like I said before, he can choose to either start building another building, create 2 more meeples, or deploy 3 meeples. He's going to move his worker on down to start building another building. He needs to start getting more, he needs to start building up. He needs to start building up an empire. So he has this one, which your worker could build 2 meeples. Or you can move on down here to, you can move another worker another space, choose a territory bonus token from those available. He could build this one, which he moves, he could deploy 4 meeples, deploy 8 meeples. He's not ready for that yet. This one's a great one, the catapult. As you move your worker, if you move him this way, you can destroy, you could shoot at any space, and every enemy in that space is destroyed, is killed. Or you can move this way, start damaging an enemy's building, place one of your meeples on a building's empty defense space. So I really like this building. That's a possibility there. This one, build more meeples, make another building, deploy meeples. So this one is a conversion. You can exchange one of your meeples with a meeple standing on any building's defense space. So if there's multiple players, you can convert an enemy meeple on one of the other player's defense spaces to one of yours. So if it's destroyed, you'll get the point. Or if there's an enemy player on yours, convert them over. This one, these are fun. These are the flying machines to send enemies out. So this one, every territory you have a meeple, you can add another to it from your supply. You have to have them in your supply, of course. And this one is you place 1 meeple from your depot onto a territory adjacent to a territory where there's an enemy meeple. So a little surprise attack. This one, you scare enemy meeples. They're terrified. You make them run away to adjacent territories, and they can enter spaces where they must be sacrificed, and they can enter to be attacked, a battle. You build 4 meeples. These, so normally when you deploy a meeple, like your basic deployment, you deploy them right outside your base at your starter zone. This one here, you can deploy them onto a territory that's occupied by at least one of your own meeples. You deploy up to 7. That's a lot. This one here, you can build 2, deploy 2. And this symbol, all the players' destroyed meeples go directly back to their depot. So let's build a building. What are we going to do here? I want to start getting meeples out there, so I'm going to start building this building to build meeples. And what I mean by start building it, it starts on this side, and the worker starts here. So it's going to take me another turn to build it. I'm going to stick it right here. I'm going to stick a meeple on it. So it's not ready yet. So that's my turn. There's no meeple movements, nothing going on. That's what I did. This guy goes. This guy says, I'm going to go ahead and build 2 meeples. His meeples look slightly different. All the meeples look different with each faction. So he builds 2 more, and he sticks them in his depot. Now we go back to this one. We go to, sorry, that started back over at the 0. This one will build. He goes over. You flip that over. That building is now complete. The next turn, we'll be able to start building more meeples. And he's going to build another building. And the catapult. I got to get that catapult in. It's going to take a lot longer to build, so I want to start. So I'm sticking that catapult down here. Like so. I'm going to start that building process. And that's it. I'm done there. I'm going over to this guy. He started back over. He's going to go ahead and build as well. Let's see what he wants to build. Nah. Maybe. I really need to. I mean, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to start with this. I really need to start pouring out meeples out there. So that's what he's going to start with. Boop. And that goes back to the beginning. We'll go back to blue. That goes back to the beginning. This one moves up one. I'll go up this track, the higher track, as you can see. It takes a little longer. So I can build 4 meeples or instantly build 2. I'm going to take a little bit longer and build 4 meeples. So I'll go up 1. And this one down here, I'm going to go ahead and deploy up to 3 meeples. So these 2 come out. Bing, bing. Now I can move them. My movement phase. I'm going to move this meeple this way. So I'll flip one of these tiles over, one of these mini tiles. I just randomly pick one and flip it over. And it's just an empty space and nothing's there. So I connect it where I can move through it. Dang, either way, I move through it. You see the forest here will block me from getting there to the objective. In this meeple, I'm actually going to explore down this way. Oh, another boring plain tile that's also blocking that way getting to the objective. So that's no good. No good for me. We're going to go over to the green player. He's going to complete building this building. Flip it over. Like I saw. And this one, he's going to go ahead and deploy up to 3. He sees blues out there exploring. He can't have that now, can he? He's got to get out there and do some exploring as well. So first green's going to go this way, up here. And he found this, which what he's going to do, can he do that? No, he can't. Well, that's a shame. He's going to block that way off completely. So blue can't go around down towards his base. Another green's going to go down here. Ah, he found a tower that has an objective, a victory point on it. So either way, it's going to be open. But he's going to make it to where the trees, blue can't go through that way. And he's going to go ahead and put a meeple on the center area. Now he doesn't control those victory points because yet again you have to have 2 meeples there to control those victory points. So he doesn't control them yet. But he's just holding on. So now we'll go back over to blue. You start back at space 1. This one moves down 1, so there's 1 more closer to building that catapult. Oh, I'm sorry, this wasn't completed. So this moves over and he builds 4 more meeples. They all go in his depot. So blue's starting to build a force over here. Right here, he's gonna start building another building. Let's see what he wants here. How many does that cost? It'd take 3 turns to get to it. I'm going to do this. I'm building the airport one, basically. So he decides he's going to build this one. I guess you call it, blimp. He's going to put the worker there to start that process. And these go back to the beginning. Now he can start moving the 2 guys he has on the board. I could continue exploring. I could try to move this guy up here and attack. I'll tell you how an attack works. So let's say the blue player moved in here and attacked the green player. There's no rolling. There's nothing you do there. There are some effects you could possibly get, some tokens, but just a plain old battle, you start removing 1 to 1. They just knock each other out. So in this case, both would be destroyed, just outright. The active player, the attacker, gains 1 victory point. They put in 1 bravery point, they call it, moving up the scale for every 1 enemy that's killed. The defender only gains a bravery point for each 2 attackers that are killed. So in this situation, it could move in there, wipe each other out, and blue would gain 1 bravery point, green wouldn't get 1. And you know what? That sounds kind of fun. He's going to do that. So he rolls in, boom. They take each other right out. So I'm going to go ahead and put blue. I'll put it up here so we can see it. On the track, the bravery point track. And green's guy goes away. This blue player is actually going to continue to explore this way. And he found this building. What this symbol means is if you have 2 meeples here, you control this location, then for that turn, each battle, destroy 1 opponent's meeple before the battle takes place. So if I had controlled that, I could have taken his meeple outright and I wouldn't have lost mine, for instance. And I'm going to place it going in that direction, not towards my base. So he moves on in there. But I don't control that yet, obviously. So now we go over to green. Sorry, things got moved around a little bit. This one will start heading towards the 4 to build 4 meeples. He only has 1 meeple in his depot. And he's going to build a building. What building does he want to build? That's a tough choice. It's so hard not to build the catapult. I'm going to build the catapult. It's so good. And the enemy's going to have it before me. I got to start that process. Now I can start moving my green dudes. See if I move this one this way to try to get here to attack. Then blue's player's turn, all he's going to do is stick a bunch out there and just wipe him out. So that's pointless. It's hard to get and to attack that. I mean, it's very, very difficult to do. You really want to try to go around and attack the enemy at one of these locations here. But the forest here is blocking my way of doing that. So it's going to be hard to get to his bases. I could continue this meeple out this way. However, it's a risk that it'll start building out towards my green player's on base. So decisions. This is where the tactics, the strategery, if you will, of Meeple War becomes involved. Every player has 1 of these. They can use it 1 time to cover up a forest, like so. And that forest is no longer a forest, and you can move right through it. But you only got 1, so you don't really want to waste it now, do you? So this green player, he's gonna do it. He's gonna move this way. He found another victory point, and I could place it either like this. Those empty spaces go kind of more towards my base, or I could place it like so, and that is what I'm going to do. And he's going to leave his guy right there. This will go back to the beginning, and that stays. We're going to go back to blue player. So blue player is going to decide, well, first this moves down and finishes, and the catapult is built. Oh yeah, things about to get funky. This one moves 1. This one moves 1. I'm going to move it towards building 4 meeples. And this one, I'm going to deploy 3 meeples outside my gate. 1, 2, 3. Now I can move meeples. I do not have that bonus over here because I have to have 2 on it to have it. He's going to continue exploring. He's going that way. So if I have 2 meeples on this location, then I can place 1 meeple from my depot onto the territory out here. How do I want to place it? I want to do it like this. I'm using the force to block this way again. And all 3 of these guys are running in here to kill this dude. They kill him, he kills one of them, but the defender does not get a bravery point because, remember, it's for every 2. But the blue one does. The blue boy moves up 1. He's got 2 bravery points. Remember, once you get to 7, then you get 1 of your victory points. So he now controls that. So technically, he has 2 victory points right now if he continues to control it. Then he would just need 4 more. Now, of course, you can lose control of it at any time if the enemy takes it back. So we'll go over to the green player. He has no one out on the map. Things are looking rough for him. He moves this down. He builds 4 more meeples. 4. He moves this 1 to start building. And he moves this to, he's going to deploy 3 meeples. He's got to get some people out there. So now it's his turn to go. He could move in here, and he'd lose 2 guys, giving the defender 1 more bravery point. He'd kill 2 guys, enemy, or he could start moving elsewhere, start moving down here, for instance. So he just says, screw it. He's charging in. And it's 2 of the defenders are dead, and 2 of the attackers are dead. So what that does, the defender killed 2, so that brings him up 1 victory point, and the attacker killed 2. So he gets 1 victory point for every 1 attacker for everyone killed, so he goes up to 2 bravery points. So he's starting to catch up now. So now it's blue player's turn. This will go back to 0 here. So the catapult is going to start moving towards damaging a player's building. This moves up the build track. And this builds 4 more meeples that goes in the depot. 2, 3, 4. So this one, even though I don't have any spots left, I could build another building. And what you do, whatever building you choose, you replace one that's already there. So you remove it off the board. It goes back into your buildings that you can build, and you replace it and start that process. And you could, if I replace one later, if I wanted to rebuild it, I could. Yet again, you start all over and start rebuilding it. I'm good what I have. I'm going to deploy some guys. So I'm going to deploy 3 blue boys out here. Like so. And pretty safe in these zones. So one of them's going to move down here. Let's see what's there. We have this. You could build another blue boy. How am I going to build this? I'm going to do it like this. So now you can see the forest here. If a bad guy goes in there, will block these buildings from being attacked. So that's good. I'm going to send a blue boy that way. Uh-oh. So he's going to be sacrificed. Let's see. I'm going to build it like this. So it blocks, yet again, my base through the woods. So he's sacrificed. He's gone. Any enemy within 2 spaces of it is destroyed. So he's killed. And so when I kill him by sacrificing my dude, I gain a bravery point. Ooh. So now he's up to 4. So that's blue player's turn. Zoom back out a little bit here. So green player is going to go. He moves up this 1, closer to building that catapult. This starts back at 0, and that starts back at 0. He's going to move forward 1 to start building up to 4 meeples again. He's not there yet. He's going to move this forward to build a building. What building does he want to build? I'm going to build this one. So he starts that building process. And that's it. He has 1 green guy over here. And continue exploring, which I will. I'm going to go this way. Just an empty field. Nothing's there. He moves into it. Now we go to blue's turn. He finishes this building. That's the blimp building. This starts over. This starts over. He's going to move this down the track to build 4 meeples. He's going to move this to deploy up to 3 meeples. So he has 2. 1, 2. And he's moving this one to attack a building and can destroy it. And so I place 1 meeple on any building I want to attack. I think I want to start. I want to take out his catapult. He's almost built it. So I place the meeple in one of the spots, the damage spots on that catapult. Once it gets 3 damage on it, it's destroyed, and I get 3 victory points for destroying it. So the catapults become real strong. It's going to be important to really start taking out each other's catapults. And so I have these meeples to move around now. I'm going to move this one, keep exploring that way. Ah, crap. I'll use that tree to block here. And that meeple has to be sacrificed. No enemy within 2. He's just gone. Then I'm going to move all 3 of them right up here to hold that 2 victory point location. We go back to green. Green finishes the catapult, so we flip it over. The damage stays on it that he has. And the catapult's done. That goes back to 0. That moves up 1. And this moves up to 4 to where I build 4 meeples. And I'm going to deploy 3 of them. Deploy them right out here. So it's green is a tough situation. Does he want to run up in there and try to kill all those meeples? Where they would kill him too. Green would get 3 bravery points, and blue would get 1. And then they would be tied on the bravery point scale. They'd both be tied at 5. Get to 7 to get a victory point. So it's a tough choice. I think what he's going to do for now is just move down here. He's just going to stay on that for now. He's going to hold, and this one's going to move up here and explore. Ah, he found a mine. They call it a mine. He's going to build it like so. There's not another mine on the board right now that you can fast travel to. We go over to this side. This moves back to the beginning, moves back to the beginning. This is going to start moving. I'm going to start putting it where I could put deploy soldiers adjacent to the enemy. I'll start moving down that path. This one I will do to build. Oh, no. This one's going to build 4. I'll move the catapult to start attacking a building again, because that is too good. And I'm going to move this one to build 3 more. I meant to deploy 3. Yes, deploy 3. I'm going to deploy 3 more. So blue's starting to build up a force out here. And what blue's going to do is he's going to move. He's going to move 2 of them this way. I'll move 1. I'll move 1 that way. I want to get to that flail. So I want to move him back to it. Because if I hold that flail, the next time I attack, I get a bonus in attacking. And I got these 2 guys just chilling here. And they could put a little pressure on these boys. No, I'm just going to build up a big force. Hold that center objective. Then we're going to go back to the green player. He goes back to the beginning. He finishes building that building. And the catapult, he's moving on the upper track to where he could shoot and destroy every single enemy in one zone and gaining that many victory points. So blue sees he's doing that. He's moving to that. If he keeps them all there, then on on green's next turn, if he hits it, boom, he gets 5 bravery points outright. So now blue's like, oh crap, he's going to have to split those guys up. He's going to have to start moving them. So you go back and forth in this game. You can see how it plays out, trying to get victory points. The game's more fun with more players, obviously, and starting to talk who's going to attack who, and it's a larger area to play. You could start trying to negotiate with each other. But it's a fun game. Let's get back down to the table. I'll tell you what I think. So that's Meeple War by CMON Games. You know, a lot of games like this style of dudes on a board, exploring the map, building your civilization, building your town, your city, whatnot, and attacking. A lot of games like this are big, long games. Some take an entire day to play. This one is not. This one is structured super well, where it's fast-paced. You have your decisions of what buildings you want to build. Each individual building, you have your decisions of which path you want your workers to go down. Then, of course, you got your decisions of where to send your troops, what regions you want to hold, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot how to try to get around to attack the enemy's base, to destroy their buildings if you want to. There's a lot to it, and it's a fast-paced game. It's a quick game. I like this game a lot. It's a very good game. I'm going to give it a 7.5 to an 8, possibly even on this game. Yeah, it's a solid game. Meeple War by CMON. Nice. Good job.